A man meticulously planned to kill his ex-wife, causing his current wife to be wrongfully convicted and imprisoned. 466 days later, the truth was finally revealed. On April 8, 2014, on a rural road in Amarillo, Texas, 3 drivers were horrified to see an SUV parked by the side of the road. Nearby, it appeared that a person was lying motionless on the ground. Fearful, the 3 drivers dared not approach and immediately called the police. About 15 minutes later, police arrived at the scene and discovered a woman lying next to the SUV. There was no phone, wallet, or identification found at the scene. Vehicle registration information revealed that the SUV belonged to Robin Spielbauer. Robin, born on October 23, 1981, at Altus Air Force Base in Oklahoma, moved to Amarillo in 1995. At a coffee shop, she met Jeremy Spielbauer. Jeremy's military background reminded Robin of her father, and the two quickly fell in love and married. Although Robin's parents were initially surprised by the swift relationship, they believed their daughter had found true love. In 2005, Robin and Jeremy officially became husband and wife, later having 2 children. However, the pressures of life began to reveal cracks in their marriage. They tried to mend it by participating in religious activities. At church, Robin met Katie Phipps, a criminal law student. Robin trusted Katie and often invited her over to her house, but the relationship between Katie and Jeremy slowly crossed the line of friendship. When Robin discovered her husband's affair, she filed for divorce. Jeremy seemed unconcerned about the family's breakup and quickly married Katie. Due to financial difficulties, Robin moved back in with her parents, and her relationship with Jeremy became increasingly strained. The situation worsened when Jeremy refused to repay $400 in child support that he had borrowed. Tensions escalated, especially since Jeremy and Katie lived on the same street as Robin's parents, forcing Robin to face them whenever she visited. On the night of April 7, 2014, after putting the children to bed, Robin told her mother that she would be back late but never returned. The next morning, passersby discovered Robin's SUV on Helium Road. At the same time, Robin's mother began to worry when her daughter didn't come home. Initially, she thought nothing serious had happened, but the unease grew. By around 11 a.m., Robin's father called the police. That afternoon, a news report confirmed the family's worst fear. The vehicle belonged to Robin, and a body had been found at the scene. Upon examination, the police noticed pink marks on Robin's SUV's window, clearly signs of a metal object striking multiple times. An autopsy revealed that Robin had been struck multiple times on her head, neck, and face. Since Robin's phone and wallet were missing from the scene, police initially believed it was a robbery. That afternoon, the police informed Robin's parents that the victim was their daughter. The police immediately launched an investigation and quickly uncovered the difficulties in Robin's personal life. They went to Jeremy and Katie Phipps's house for questioning. Katie claimed that she only learned about Robin's death through the news and others, offering no further information. Jeremy also stated that he knew nothing about the incident. A few days later, the police officially questioned the couple. Jeremy stated that he was at his uncle's house that night, texting Katie at 9 p.m., and remembered texting Robin at around 6 p.m., but received no response. However, network data showed that Robin and Jeremy had planned to meet on the night of April 7th. This proved that Jeremy had lied during the first interrogation. The police questioned Jeremy again, asking him to explain the texts. Jeremy admitted to lying earlier. He explained that he and Robin had planned to meet that night to discuss visiting the children and some future plans, as his house was just 1 street away from Robin's parents. However, Robin never showed up. Jeremy explained that he kept this from the police due to the tense relationship between Robin and Katie since their divorce. Jeremy knew that Katie would be at a friend's house for a few hours, so he thought he could meet Robin at his house. The hostile attitude between Robin and Katie, and vice versa, caught the police's attention. For Robin, Katie was not just a betrayer, she had stolen her place in life. Robin could not forgive her former best friend for sneaking into her home and stealing her husband. Meanwhile, Katie suspected that Jeremy still maintained an unclear relationship with Robin after the divorce. 4 days before Robin's murder, Katie sent over 300 angry texts to Jeremy, expressing doubts about their relationship. In one message, Katie wrote, "I'll handle this myself." This chilling statement seemed to predict the upcoming tragedy. The case took an unexpected turn when the autopsy results were released. Initially, the police believed Robin died from multiple blows to the head, but the examination revealed a bullet in her head. The true cause of death was a gunshot wound from a .22 caliber bullet. However, the bullet retrieved from Robin's head was severely deformed, making it impossible to trace the trajectory. During the initial crime scene investigation, the police had assumed Robin died from blunt force trauma and did not search for a shell casing. After learning the results of the autopsy, they returned to the Helium Road scene, searched the dirt and dry grass, and eventually found a .22 caliber shell casing, along with 2 small metal fragments, which appeared to be from a broken handgun or rifle. After examining the bullet trajectory, the police began searching for a .22 caliber weapon. On Katie's social media, they found a photo of her holding a black and pink .22 caliber handgun, which could potentially be the weapon used at the scene. To verify this, the police obtained a search warrant for Katie's house. Upon arrival, they found nearly 20 different weapons, including a black and pink .22 caliber handgun. The pink paint on Robin's car window matched the paint on Katie's gun. Furthermore, a small fragment on the gun's body was broken and matched the metal fragments found at the crime scene. Experts concluded that someone had used the gun to strike Robin's car window with such force that it left marks and damaged the gun. Ballistic tests also confirmed that the shell casing found at the scene matched Katie's gun. The police brought Katie in for questioning, considering her the prime suspect. However, Katie continued to deny any involvement in Robin's death. Still, in messages sent to Jeremy, she repeatedly accused him of having an affair with Robin. About 8 hours before Robin died, Katie texted Jeremy, "I'll handle this myself." The police inferred that Katie had a motive, possessed the weapon, and knew how to use it. They questioned Jeremy again, and he changed his story. This time, Jeremy claimed that he and Robin had met on Helium Road, sitting in the car when Katie suddenly appeared. According to Jeremy, Katie and Robin argued and fought, so he got in his car and left, leaving the 2 women behind. Jeremy insisted that when he left, Robin's car window was not damaged, and everything that happened after that was after he had left. During questioning, Katie claimed that she had been at a friend's house that night, leaving around 11 p.m., but her friend couldn't confirm the exact time, only estimating that Katie had left around 9 or 10 p.m. This meant that Katie had enough time to commit the crime. Katie also denied being on Helium Road, as Jeremy had said, but admitted to having conflicts with Robin, though she claimed not to have wished for her death. Katie suggested a lie detector test to prove her innocence. Although the results of the test were not admissible in court, the police used it to rule her out as a suspect. Katie took the test twice and failed both times. The police checked her phone's location data at the time of the murder and found that Katie's phone was in the same area as where Robin was killed at the exact time the crime occurred. Based on the evidence and the ballistic test results, the police arrested Katie and charged her with Robin's murder. However, Katie still insisted on her innocence. She was imprisoned for over a year while awaiting trial, until the police uncovered a shocking piece of information that made them realize they had arrested the wrong person. The phone's location data via cell towers had a large margin of error, but Wi-Fi location data only had a discrepancy of about 100 meters. The results showed that Katie was not on Helium Road at the time of the murder. As a result, she was released after 466 days of wrongful imprisonment. Clearly, Katie was innocent, but this did not change the fact that someone had used her black and pink handgun to shoot and kill Robin. If not Katie, suspicion shifted to someone else who could access the gun, Jeremy Spielbauer. It's possible that all of Jeremy's testimonies were lies, crafted to frame Katie. Realizing that her ex-husband had caused her wrongful imprisonment, Katie decided to help the police bring Jeremy to justice. Katie told the prosecutor that she didn't believe the city didn't have surveillance cameras. The police stepped up their search and discovered footage from a camera on a bank building. The video showed Jeremy driving past the bank at 9:21 p.m. on April 7, 2014, heading toward Helium Road to meet Robin. At 9:50 p.m., he drove back. By this point, the police believed that Robin had been murdered. However, they lacked the evidence to charge him. The police contacted Jessica Huffman, Jeremy's ex-girlfriend. Jessica agreed to provide information if given protection. Once assured of her safety, Jessica shared a conversation with Jeremy that she had not dared to disclose before, out of fear. According to Jessica, in 2014, Jeremy complained about his disputes with Robin and his inability to see his children. Jessica advised him to go to court to gain visitation rights, but Jeremy said he would handle it himself. He expressed a desire to permanently remove Robin from his life. Jessica recalled, tearfully, that Jeremy had said that if Robin were shot in the head, everything would be better. Just 5 days after that conversation, Robin was found dead by the road with a bullet in her head. It couldn't have been a coincidence. Jessica also revealed that Jeremy had threatened her, saying that if she ever revealed their conversation, she would be the next one to be shot. During the investigation, Jeremy changed his statement 4 times, each time offering a different version, clearly getting trapped in his own web of lies. In one interrogation, Jeremy said that when he left Robin and Katie on Helium Road, Robin's car window was not damaged. However, he couldn't have known that experts had found scratches on the window unless he had caused them. When asked how he knew about these details, Jeremy said he saw the scratch near the office, but that was a lie. The window had been removed and sent to the lab before the car was brought to the office. Therefore, Jeremy could only have known about the scratch if he was the one who caused it. Another important point was Jeremy's reaction when the police seized the black and pink handgun during the search of his house. Initially, the police had assumed that Robin died from blunt force trauma, and only after determining that she was shot in the head did they request a search warrant. This information had not been made public. Katie remembered that when the police searched the house, Jeremy told her that they had taken all the weapons, meaning they knew Robin had died from a head wound. Jeremy could only have known this if he were the killer. These pieces of evidence show that Jeremy was a cold-hearted individual who meticulously planned to eliminate Robin and frame Katie. The black and pink handgun, the only one registered under Katie's name, was the centerpiece of his plan. Jeremy brought the gun to meet Robin, killed her, and made sure the window of Robin's car had pink paint marks. He didn't take the shell casing from the scene because he knew it would be a crucial piece of evidence. After returning home, Jeremy put the gun back in its place, knowing the police would soon be conducting a search. His plan was nearly perfect, but there were still mistakes. During the investigation, the police discovered Robin's wallet, which contained her social security card and the children's cards, in Jeremy's car, an incriminating piece of evidence against him. At Jeremy's trial, Katie testified for the prosecution. She shared that Jeremy had once grabbed her, pushed her against a wall in his house, and said that he had taken care of the problem. Katie believed this meant that Jeremy was admitting to killing Robin. Later, in an interview, Katie apologized to Robin's family for her role in the incident. Even though she didn't physically shoot Robin, she felt responsible. In his closing argument, the defense attorney expressed concern that the jury would be too eager to convict due to the long duration of the case. He stated that human nature compels people to want a conclusion and for someone to be held accountable, but he feared that the jury would repeat the earlier mistake. The lawyer insisted that the evidence still pointed to Katie being the actual killer and urged the jury to consider the facts carefully. After nearly 3 hours of deliberation, the jury found Jeremy Spielbauer guilty. In January 2018, he was sentenced to life in prison and fined $100,000. He will be eligible for parole in 2046. After the trial, Jeremy appealed multiple times but was unsuccessful each time. He is currently serving his sentence in prison.